Welcome back to the Faces of Newquay podcast. And today I'm joined by Beth from Soul Foods. She's an amazing woman who set up a weekly dinner for anyone to join who needs support from the local community. And that's basically how we start, so
okay.
We're in.
Okay, that's cool.
So, I mean, what I really liked about what you were telling me there is how kind of the whole thing just summed up what it is to be part of the community, which is kind of why we're doing this podcast series. So it'd be great to hear a kind of summary of what you were telling us about soul food and
kind of how we started.
That would be great.
Do you want to kind of go from the beginning?
Please.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to start from kind of what I've always kind of felt very strongly about around homelessness and about how people can be really marginalised and pushed out of the community. And you do see it, don't you? It's almost sometimes like people lose who they are, sat on a street, begging or whatever. It's just, really difficult place for people. And so, like I said, I ran a soup kitchen going back when I was 21. That's quite a few years ago now. Did that for a couple of years. Met so many amazing people. Moved to Cornwall in 2005, started some work for health promotion. As part of that work, we set up like healthy cooking sessions, but they were very specific. They were for anybody that was homeless or in housing crisis, because I really, really wanted to kind of step away. Not that I have a problem with the soup kitchen model, but I wanted to kind of move away from that, because I feel what's really important is that people get involved. It's good to give, but I think there's a time when people actually want to be able to give rather than kind of feeling like they're a charity case or whatever. So it's about kind of, bringing people in, getting them kind of doing stuff, participating, whether it was chopping up veg, whether it was washing up, whether it was putting the salt and pepper out, whether it was wiping the table, whatever it was, just to come in and be part of it.
So now, you're running a weekly... cooking evening.
Yeah.
And anyone's welcome to come along.
Anybody's welcome.
And they all help cook and they all help.
We all kind of do different things. It can be a challenge, kind of finding... depends what you're cooking, really, doesn't it? But we do different things. So sometimes we might say to somebody, actually, we have a quiz. So we might say, actually, go and work out 20 questions for the quiz. Cool. And then we'll have the quiz. So we always try and do something. We've got the chalkboard. I have young people, so I take on young D&B pupils as well that come through to do their volunteering, which is amazing for them. And a couple of them have actually stuck with me. One girl's been with me for 2 years now. Wanted to kind of carry on, but it's more around everybody having a little something to do, whether that's making a cup of tea. We haven't really got set roles, so it's kind of people move around and do different things. So it's about everybody coming in and being involved.
And how many people come?
That varies. We never really know. I mean, it's Thursday night soul food runs. I think we had probably about 15 people. 3 of those people were street homeless, sleeping rough. We've got other people that join us. It's a very diverse group, because we've got people with learning disabilities that come along. We've got people with drug and alcohol, mental health issues, all sorts. Some people just turn up because they're lonely. They actually just want to come and be somewhere, and actually they feel maybe they want to give something back. We're very open to anybody.
I like the fact that they are cooking and being a part of putting the evening on. It's probably a lot less intimidating.
I think so.
And a bit more involving and I know, like, even just making food with friends and like having them come and eat is different to, I'll come and help me cook and chop veggies with me, and we chat whilst we chop. And
it's very communal, isn't it? There's something, and it's what's lovely is just the kind of end bit where we all sit round and we eat together. And one of the guys said to me originally, he was sleeping rough, how important it was to be able to come in, prep the food, get it cooked, but actually to sit down with other people with a plate and a knife and fork, because actually when you're on the streets, that doesn't really happen. and that was really important to him. But I think we're even more than the food. I kind of feel we've kind of gone sometimes beyond the food. Going back within the first year, we took a group and we did the Newquay paddle. So it was a group of 4 guys. 3 of them were actually homeless at the time. They're all like, yeah, do you know much about the Newquay paddle?
Don't know the Newquay paddle. That'd
be worth kind of, finding out about. But yeah, amazing. It happens every year. Yeah. But anyway, so the paddle, it's a community event, and 4 of these men said to me, we can do a kilometre paddle. That's interesting, isn't it? No, they can't. It's so funny. I'm like, should we want to do the 200 metre? Nope, we can do the kilometre. So I managed to...
Is it a swim?
It's on a paddle board, the big paddle boards. Yeah. And it's harder than it seems. But anyway, they were like adamant. So what I did is I arranged a couple of sessions with surf coaches to get them into the sea, because I actually hadn't even really been into the sea that much. And they were like, right. And well, yeah, you can imagine we got into Fistral one day, and within about 5 minutes, one of them was out going, I need a fag, I've got to get out. So then they said to me, right, I think we'll do the 200 metre. Yeah. And we did it. We did it as a team. We did, it was amazing. Yeah. So good. And one of the guys afterwards said to me, what a difference that had made for him, because he'd always felt like he was on the outside of the community, but actually to do something and be involved and be part of the community changed it. And that guy's actually gone on to do amazing things. So we've seen some really good kind of where people have really moved on.
And I think that it's like what you said before, sometimes certain people can be overlooked and not necessarily kind of given the time of day. So where would they have had that opportunity to find 3 other people and participate
and have a bit of a laugh?
Yeah, because
we did have a laugh. Yeah, really, that was such a good. We did it again this year, but I didn't organise it quickly enough. I'm always tend to do things at the last minute, and we put some young people in. So we put young people in to do the relay, the 1 kilometre relay. Mm-hmm. And bless them, they got down there and they were up against the lifeguards and the fire brigade. And they did all right though. They didn't come last, so they did well. Yeah, and they did have actually quite a good surfer with them, an older guy as well. But yeah, but it's nice, and I think that's what it's about. It's about, for me, it's about building that community. How do we do that? And I think food's a really, really good way to do that, by getting people in. Most people like to eat. We have had people actually, interestingly, coming in with eating disorders. And I remember one girl in particular who used to come in and she'd never eat. She wouldn't eat. She'd always come in and she'd help, but she'd go before the food but she actually ended up staying. So it took quite a while. It didn't happen overnight. It took quite a few months, but then she started, stopping and having only a little bit of food, but that's quite a massive step.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that comes down to what you were saying earlier about how non-judgmental it is, and everyone that comes is treated with the same openness and non-judgmental attitude to even like you said, whatever condition they're in, whatever period of their life they're in, they can just come and eat food together.
And I think I think there is that ethos really, that it's very a level field, that everybody's kind of part of it together, that it's not like us and them. We haven't got the workers, everybody's doing it, and that builds a sense of belonging for people, because they feel valued. It's like, well, what can I do? Well, actually, do you mind doing that? Or can you go make me a cup of tea? Make sure the cup's really clean, because I have clean cup OCD. Okay. But we have quite a lot of banter. Like I said, we have the quiz, so that's always a bit of education in there actually, and we have so much fun. And I think that's what it's about. It's about making it kind of open, fun, friendly. Yeah.
And do you have kind of plans for more days or?
There are plans for it, yes. I don't kind of want to say too much. We've recently become a community interest company.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've done quite a lot with the orchard. We've been doing that over a period of time, feeding volunteers when they have volunteer events. So we've done that. We did a christening. We all came in on a Sunday morning and prepared a banquet for our local family's christening for their little one. And that was amazing. We got a 5-star rating for that. We have a Facebook page, yeah.
And I liked that in particular. I'm glad you brought that up, because the people that come and make the food for the christening and for the volunteers are all just the same. Could be anyone that wants to volunteer.
Yeah, anybody that wants to come through the door. We kind of put it out there. We know what we've got going on, and we might say, well, actually, who wants to be involved in that? Who wants to come along? We started in 2012, and I think it was 2013. We did an event in Wadebridge, which was partly for health trainer service and health promotion, but we, Soul Food, went in and we did the cooking. So again, I took a team in. Some of them were sleeping rough, and we did 3 soups from scratch. They were amazing. People told us they were like restaurant standard, and I think that's true. I actually do believe that. They were really, really good soups. But what was really lovely about that the people that had come to the conference, it was like a conference event, were people from mental health team, just Outlook Southwest, so counselling. So it flipped it round. So the people that were making and serving the food were giving it to the people that maybe they'd received support from at some point in their lives. And the buzz from that day, if I could have bottled that, that was just incredible. People talked about that for weeks after, about how good it made them feel, and and I think that's what it's all about.
So, I mean, why do you do this?
Why do I do it? I actually don't know. Because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Because I really believe in it.
How did the first kind of soul food evening happen?
It was over in the church in St. Colin Minor, because at that point we were there initially. We had a free venue. And we set up out there, and I think we had about 30 people through our door. So we kind of publicised it, put a few posters round, kind of spread the word. And 30 people turned up, which was when I met one chap in particular, the guy who I was talking about earlier, who taught me how to cook rice really well.
The chef.
Yeah, the chef. Yeah, very, very skilled chef who has gone on to do amazing things with his life, He's, changed his life around.
Do you keep in touch with them?
I have, some of them, some of them. I call them, they're my friends. Yeah. So
it's probably quite like, I don't cook and sit down with my friends once a week. Yeah. So, you probably have a really close relationship with everyone that comes to the door.
We get to know people. We get to kind of see if maybe they're a bit down, or it's quite an accepting environment. So we do, and people kind of stay in touch. And the other really nice thing is that you see, separate to a Thursday night, you see friendships building and people really supporting each other. Yeah. And giving them a hand if they've got a problem with their benefits, or I don't know, they're looking to move into accommodation. People that have kind of already been in that situation are the best ones often to help and say, actually, you need to go to such and such, or go to whoever. And
I'm just thinking I would love to have that kind of like a regular meal with all of my friends as well.
Then maybe you need to be doing that.
I think
you
will,
need to do that. You need to kind of get something kind of start, even if you just start it and just think, I'm going to do it for, because that's how we did it, X amount of time. So it doesn't feel like it's too big or too long or forever, because sometimes it can be a bit off-putting, can't it? But maybe just, go for it. What kind of stuff do you like cooking?
I don't know. I have the idea I'd love to do, like, every Sunday morning, people bring breakfast stuff.
Not too early?
Not too early. Brunch, Sunday brunch. Everyone brings breakfast stuff. Yeah. We sit and we have breakfast together, and then we go for a walk or something.
Very chilled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a nice, and just, no one has to come, but for people just to know it's on once a week. Yeah. And if they want to join, if not, great. It's a great
idea, isn't it?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's about community, isn't it? That's how we
Yeah.
You know, in kind of today's times with everything kind of going on, it's like we've got to be quite creative, I think, money's a bit short or whatever, how do we build that? You know, how do we, and we're very sustainable because we're not free. Like I said, we're not a soup kitchen. Again,
do people pay when they come and join?
Yeah, and there's a story, there's a background to this. We were for about a year. We were absolutely, because through my job role we were funded. Okay. So we had a budget, so we could get some food from that. We also got some food from West Country, kind of gave us some stuff that they had left over. So it was kind of like cook whatever we have kind of scenario, which was great. But partway through, one of the guys said, I think we need to add value. And he was actually homeless at the time. And he said, Beth, I really think it'd be really good. People were asking for meat. People were asking for kind of more things. And actually, when you are sleeping rough, those things are really important. The protein's really important. Full fat milk's really important. People really suffer with the cold. We had a guy turn up last night and he had quite a lot to drink. He was really cold. It was a really hot day yesterday, but we gave him extra clothes to put on because he was so cold. Yeah, so it was actually this guy that came to me and said, I think, Beth, we need to put a little charge on. So I was a bit kind of, well, how are we going to do that? And at that time, we also set up a committee. And that committee was made up with whoever was coming along. Okay. This guy was on it. And we just said, well, what do you think? So I said to him, can you go and ask? What can people afford? Because that's the other thing, isn't it? Yeah. And so he went out and he came back and he said £1.50. This guy was a really big drinker. He could put away 3 bottles of cider a day. And he said, Beth, people need to make a decision as to whether they want to kind of, can I swear?
Yeah.
Piss it up the wall, or whether they want to have a really good meal. And he said, and £1.50. He said, and we always have 2 courses, sometimes we have 3, and that includes tea and coffee. He said, I think that's a really fair price. And at that time, what was interesting, the venue that we were in, we needed to leave. We needed to vacate. We became homeless because they had a children's thing there. They were setting up like a nursery daycare kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So there was a bit of a kind of thing about people maybe turning up a bit worse for wear and people collecting their kids. So we kind of thought, right, okay. So we moved across. That's when we moved into the Newquay Centre. For a while they let us have it rent free, which is amazing, but at some point we had to pay some rent. So that £1.50 then enabled us to pay our rent and also get extra food. And also at that point, West Country, they'd been with us for a year. They said we only do this for a year. So then we were having to purchase our food. So we never make a profit. We basically get the food and pay for that, and then the extra, hopefully we have enough, goes to pay the rent for the venue.
Where do you get your food from?
Wherever.
Yeah,
wherever's on kind of offer.
Okay.
We buy our food.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I should make that clear. We do have some stuff donated though, because we do some stuff with Morrison, so we've got a contract with them. So when they have waste food, rather than chucking it in the bin, it's all best before, so it's all okay stuff. We've had some amazing bread puddings made out of kind of bread that was out of date yesterday.
There is such a
massive food waste. It's scary.
Epidemic, really, isn't there?
It's tragic, isn't it? Really, it's awful. And there's so many laws around it now, isn't there? Around. I remember when I did the soup kitchen, going back, Prego. Is it Prego? Used to the quite posh ones that got a lawsuit recently for food. They got sued, didn't they? Because they gave somebody food and killed them. Yeah. Pret a manager. Yes. They used to, when we used to do the soup kitchen, they'd give us bags, big, massive bags full of like proper posh prawn sandwiches, and the people were like, wow, it's like a smorgasbord of food that we were getting from them, you know. But that changed, didn't it? We had a while where actually they're not allowed, food places aren't allowed to do that, and stop people going into bins and everything, but it's awful. It really is. So we do try, and we work with Tesco as well. Yeah. So I collect food on a Thursday from Tesco's waste on the Wednesday, but again it's more kind of pastries and breads and but people are always happy with donuts. And
aren't we all?
So
great. And because we spoke to the the church, in yesterday's podcast that we recorded, and they said that you might be moving into a new space with them.
Yeah, we're in talks at the moment of potentially kind of coming under their roof, because they've been fitted out, haven't they? And a really nice space. So yeah, we're kind of in the early stages of how do we do that? How do we kind of transfer people? Yeah. I guess there's a risk in doing that. The risk for me is how will that affect people, because we've been in the Newquay Centre for 6 years. It'll be 6 years in September. For some people, they know that building. They've been there every week. I've got people that have been with me for the 7 years. I've got one girl that she comes and helps me here sometimes, who used to walk from Crantock Street out to St Columb Minor every Thursday to come to Soul Food. She's still with me. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I kind of, there's a hesitance a little bit. I think it'd be great, but just that it's that transference for people. How will that affect them?
Maybe do a second one another day.
Maybe. You never know. Watch this space.
Yeah.
You watch this space. I would like to do more around kind of going around maybe to soup kitchens. And actually the people that we have coming through our door, the kind of idea would be that we go in and we do the food for the soup kitchens. So it's kind of like a bit of inspiration. I feel like there's a kind of like a
give and take.
We've been in your place. Actually, yeah. Things can change.
Yeah.
It's because of the Soul Food connection and what we've done there. Well, you've heard of 15. And Jamie Oliver, and we've got the amazing restaurant in Watergate Bay with the young people that they bring through the door and train them up to be chefs, apprentices. Not apprentices, chefs. They're apprentices and then they become chefs. Part of what they do, and I'm not exactly sure on time-wise, but a few years ago, they kind of set up a community arm, which they call Food for Change.
Okay.
And as part of Food for Change, I was aware of them. They were aware of kind of what was going on with Soul Food. So they kind of said to me, would you come and be part of what we're doing in the community and around the kind of engagement side of it? So kind of part of that, I do other kind of cooking sessions in the community that I do for them, specifically for them. But again, with the Orchard, who are a partner of Cornwall Food Foundation, got the food truck, and we kind of worked out a bit of a plan, because what I do for them is I do cooking sessions around engagement and engaging people, but I also offer one-to-one support for people. So those participants come along here on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and some people from Soul Food as well. So it's kind of like a circular thing. And we cook, we use the produce from here, straight from the ground. So today we used amazingly fresh tomatoes, basil, garlic, onions, everything, put it in the pan, made a lovely sauce, and then put some tortellini in it, and then delivered the lunch for the volunteers who come here and work ever so hard. We see how hard they work. It's incredible, and just such an amazing space really to be in and to be part of. So it's kind of, it kind of all fits together.
Well, I think once you start getting into things in the community, then you start to discover all these other amazing projects.
Much going on. There's so many really good things in the community, and I think Newquay in particular is just an incredible place. Really.
I mean, we obviously agree because we're doing this. But like every person that we've interviewed and we've said, who would you recommend talking to, gives us someone new, like you said disc earlier on that no one else had said before, and lots of people had said talk to Soul Food, and I think that's one of the reasons, just to showcase all of these and try and discover them for ourselves.
Amazing community.
What's your day job?
My day job is with Cornwall Food Foundation. Okay. So it's Food for Change, because everything I do for Soul Food is voluntary. That's kind of it isn't separate, but it is separate. It's all kind of intertwined, but that's
What do you do for them?
For Cornwall Food Foundation, I am a community food support worker. So, and they're ESF funded, so they're a charity that are reliant on the ESF funding.
Yeah.
And we support anybody who is out of work and looking to kind of go into training, education, or back into work.
Okay.
So
through similar projects to Soul Food, or through
through what they do. So they're quite specific. So they do that through Food for Change. They also run 6-week courses, which is called Food Works, in the community, which are free to anybody who are unemployed.
Is that in Newquay as well?
That's in Newquay. They run it in other areas as well. At the moment, there's one running on Tuesdays out of the fire station. They use the community building there. And people come along and learn lots of things. They learn knife skills, they learn about nutrition, portion sizing, lots of things. They can gain certificates through it. It's like food hygiene certificates and stuff. A really good organisation. Really, really, really impressed. Yeah.
And how, like, anyone that would like to join, listening to this, that would like to join in with Soul Food, how can they help support it?
I guess the easiest way, and I have people contacting me. More often than not, they come via Facebook, through our Facebook page, and people will get in touch with me and say, we really want to come along and help. And yeah, we've gained quite a lot of people that way who just said, actually, we really want to support this. And so we've got, a kind of core group almost of people. So when I'm away, I don't have to worry. But actually, that's another side of it, because I have been away recently, been to Bali, and Soul Food ran itself. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's about that bit. That's what you're trying to do, isn't it? Yeah. It's not about one person. It's about everybody mucking in and getting on with it and doing it. Yeah. And that's how we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think there aren't more of these type of evenings and in different places? And
I think there are. I think there's different things going on. You mentioned earlier about Cafe Chaos. I know that's not of an evening. Well, they might run in the evening, but they certainly do stuff, don't they, through the day. You've also got over in St Austell an organisation called Stack. They've been running for quite a while, and they run a community kitchen where people can go in. I think people can pay £1 for a really good, well-cooked meal. They are, I think, don't quote me on this, but they used to offer like computer courses and stuff like that, and support. Again, it's a community project. Over in the west of the county, you've got a lady that runs a thing called Wacky Soup, and that's again another community kind of venture where people get involved, and they do quite a lot, so worth looking them up.
Yeah.
So I think there's loads.
We need to do another
I think you do
series.
Yeah, definitely.
10 in Truro or something.
I think so. I think there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
And so, and I actually thought of somebody else that would be really good for you to speak to, which is a lady called Lynn, who runs Purple Angels, and she's set up locally in Newquay area places where people sign up, so businesses, shops, and people like that.
I think Coffee on the Corner has.
They will have, yeah. Coffee on the Corner. I love Coffee on the Corner. Amazing coffee. But yeah, so yeah, it's about awareness for dementia. Yeah. So she's trying to make Newquay a safe place for people with dementia. But again, she'd be somebody I think would be amazing because she's so passionate. So passionate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about having done this, is that the people you do meet are, really passionate about what they do. And they almost have to be because it's not easy to kind of put your time aside and organise, lots of the amazing projects that we've spoken to. Can be quite stressful and
yes,
and there's no money in it, which makes everything a bit harder.
But that's kind of the creative side of it, isn't it, really? And I've always said, when I enjoy what I do, you asked me earlier, why do I do it? It's because I enjoy it. When I stop enjoying it, that'd be the time to stop. Yeah, it's quite simple, really, isn't it? If you're enjoying it, carry on doing it. You never know where things lead, and I just feel privileged, really, to be honest, without wanting to sound corny. There's the kind of people that I've met along the way. I've met some absolutely incredible, I'm sure I'll continue to, incredible people. So it makes it all really worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Soul Foods on Facebook.
It is. You're going to ask me? Wow, we've got
No,
two Facebook pages, so please don't, because one's no good.
We'll put it,
and we've got our official one. We'll give us a little
up.
tag or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We'll flash it up on the screen. And people can go there and check it out and hopefully get involved.
Yeah.
Or...
It kind of helps if people get in touch first. Because it's kind of like what I've started to do now is meet people and kind of chat to them a little bit about kind of how it works. Because some people come in and are a bit like, oh, is it a soup kitchen? And I think it's about that clarity.
Yeah.
So it's important. I kind of learnt that along the way. Yeah. Some people come like, well, shouldn't you be doing it for free? And we're like, well, actually, no, this is kind of how it's come about. This is why it's come about, and this is what we're trying to achieve. So it's kind of those things. Yeah. I guess it's helping people to be clear about what they want to be involved in or what we're offering or delivering. Yeah. Yeah.
Would it help if people donated anything? Or?
Not at the moment. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Because we are quite self-sufficient at the moment. So we're quite healthy in that respect. I kind of like that we're not kind of reliant. We haven't been reliant on grant funding, because you find sometimes when you're...
I think that's important.
Yeah, when you're kind of waiting for that and then that stops, then things stop. And I saw that a lot in community development work. So for me, no, but thank you for asking. Sometimes we need closed toiletries, actually. You say that, actually. Toiletries are a really good thing, kind of deodorants and toothbrushes and things like that. Socks. We had a guy turn up last night that was desperate for socks.
Yeah, I spoke to some people that were out on the street, and they just said that, like, people never donate underwear and socks to charity shops or shelters or anything like that, and they're
pretty
the most
important, really. Yeah, they're kind of like your basics, aren't they? Almost, yeah. And especially socks, I'd probably say, over underwear, because I think when you're kind of in those circumstances, seagull? Was that a seagull? Low flying. Is there a baby anywhere? Kind of like duck. That people have a lot of problems with their feet. You see that a lot. Yeah, where it's very hard and people kind of can't keep their feet clean.
Or dry.
End up with infections and things like that. So socks, definitely. Okay. Guess people can turn their undies inside out, can't they?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But yeah, definitely.
Socks and toiletry.
So,
great.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for doing this.
No worries. Thank you. It's actually not been too bad.